Team. Welcome to the Next Fitness Show. This is Alexis Craig, and I am doing the show live. Today is Friday, August 29th, and this is our episode 81. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Happy Friday. It's the Friday of Labor Day weekend right now. So happy Friday of a holiday weekend. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend ahead. We have a lot going on even for this holiday weekend. So I will make sure that you know everything that's happening in our world. And yeah, so right now, I just want to say for those of you who are actually here live, I encourage you to push the like on this video. It really helps. And it seems like a silly thing to do, but I really do encourage you to do it. And please get into the chat and just say, hey, so I know that you're here. Also, if you're taking this and you're watching this and you're doing it as a replay, then still good in the comments and just say hi. I would love to know who's here, who's watching this so that I can say hi back. So far, Megan says TGIF and Aaron says hello. Hello. All right. And I just want to also mention that this is a show that is a production of the Next Fitness Thing. So if you're not really sure what the Next Fitness Thing is, we are a digital platform with all kinds of offerings. You can check us out at thenextfitnessthing.com. Nice. Daniela's in here saying hello. Awesome. Okay, we have a lot of awesomeness in store for you today. So today we are going to be talking about the energy centers of your body, which is something I'm really excited to talk to you about. And we also have a mid-show stretch break. We have a move of the week, and we have a bunch of announcements. A couple of them are brand new and pretty exciting, so I can't wait to share that with you as well. And then we have a little fun special topic at the end that is super yummy. So yay. Nice. Lori is in here saying hello. Awesome. Hey, Lori. And Carol says hello too. Awesome. Great. Okay. Are you ready? Let's dive into our main topic for today. So what we're talking about today is your body's energy centers. So this is your body's energy centers. Now, what are we actually talking about here? Honestly, the word that sums up what I'm referring to here is chakras. Now, let me know, is this something you've heard of before? Is it brand new to you? Let me know, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how familiar do you already feel with the concept of chakras? I encourage you to drop that into the chat right now. 1 is like, never heard of it, don't know what you're talking about. 10 is like, oh yeah, I could be like teaching a class on this, I'm total expert. So I encourage you to drop that. Now, the reason that I want to address chakras here is because this is a tool that can really, really help you on a fitness journey and on a wellness journey in general. It's an opportunity for you to tune into your body and for you to check in with what's going on. Now, that might be on the physical level, it could be on the emotional level, it could be on the energetic level. And if something you already know is going on, then, and you're not really sure what to do about it, chakras can be a way that you can address an issue that arises along the way, especially a physical issue going on in your body. All right, so here's what's going on in here. Megan says 5, Lori says 7, Carol says 1, Daniela says 2. Okay, awesome. So we're kind of all over the map with our familiarity with chakras. Nice. Now, as your chakras are basically the direct translation in Sanskrit. This is something that comes from the ancient yogic tradition. Chakras have been studied as far back as perhaps even 1500 BC, definitely as far as 500 BC, there's like evidence of writing about chakras. So this is something that has been utilized for a really long time. And I know for me, when I first got turned on to the concept of chakras, I kind of thought it was like woo-woo BS. And I think a lot of people probably still think that. And the thing is that the Vedic medicine tradition has been utilizing chakras as a way of addressing issues in your body for thousands of years now, consistently all the way through. So it's not like something we're studying as archaeology from that time. It's something that has had a consistent tradition all the way through. So it's pretty well developed as far as understanding of this. And there's a lot of, at least there's a lot of evidence of it as well. So let's dive right in. Okay, so throughout your body, you have these wheels of energy. Chakra is basically a wheel, is the direct translation in Sanskrit. So you have these wheels of energy throughout your body. And these wheels of energy correspond with different aspects. So they correspond with different colors. So that's one reason you always see these diagrams like this, where it looks like a rainbow over your body with the red at the bottom and I call it purple, but it's the violet at the top, maybe even ultraviolet at the top. And each of these energy centers corresponds. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to take you through the 7 main, dominant chakras in your body. There are hundreds and perhaps thousands of chakras in your body that are more like minor chakras, smaller ones, like each little fingertip has a little chakra. There's chakras all over the place, but these are kind of like the big ones that are the main ones for you to know that we're going to go through. I'm going to give you a little taste of what it looks like to understand each of the chakras. And then afterward, we'll talk more about how do you use this information and what are you actually supposed to do with these concepts. Okay. How's that sound? All right. So let's start at the bottom and work our way up. So the first chakra is the root chakra. It's all the way at the base of your spine. This is basically a chakra at your perineum. It's the part of your body that touches the earth when you sit down. That's your root chakra. Now, your root chakra is associated with the color red. And every single chakra not only has a color, but it has a lot of other aspects as well. So, for example, the root chakra is associated with the element of earth. It is associated with the geometry of a square. The symbol that you can see on the screen is a lotus with 4 petals. And the biggest thing for you to get out of the root chakra is that the root chakra is all about stability. It's about safety, survival, grounding, feeling like you have what you need in order to exist. That's what the root chakra is really all about. Okay, moving on, we have the sacral chakra. This one is about 2 inches below your belly button is what they say. I think of this as being your sacrum, which is your lower back, basically. And the color is orange, and this is the center of creativity and also sexuality. So it has to do with emotions and pleasure and sexuality, and also just any way that you would utilize your creativity. Okay, your solar plexus chakra moving up is associated with the color yellow. And this is the chakra of your confidence and your personal power. And there's also your willpower and your self-discipline. The location in your body here, it's like right below your rib cage. So it's above your belly button, kind of significantly. And if you feel your rib cage and where your ribs kind of end in the middle, it's right there. Right at that's your solar plexus, like right here. Okay, so that one is solar plexus. Moving up, we have the heart. The heart chakra is right in the center of your chest. So it's not really necessarily at your physical heart. I was raised to understand that the heart's a little bit off to the left, but your heart center, like the center of your chest, is where your heart chakra lies. The color is green, although some people say that it has a tinge of pink going on with it. And this is the energy of love, all kinds of love. So not just romantic love, but also having love for other beings, love for nature, love for anything. And beyond just love, it's also compassion and forgiveness and all of the energies of really being in a loving place is your heart chakra. Okay, moving even further up, we have your throat chakra. Your throat chakra is the color blue. And it's not, when I say it's the color blue, I'm not saying like your body is actually, your skin is blue in that place or anything like that. It's more the frequency of the color blue. This is the energy of self-expression. So just like your vocal cords are the way that you communicate, this is the energy of speaking the truth. And even it doesn't have to be speaking out loud, it's communicating. So that might look like writing. It can look like any kind of way that you communicate is around your throat chakra. And I would even say any way that you receive communication can also be from your throat chakra, because it also includes your throat and your mouth and your jaw, your vocal cords, and your thyroid. So keep that in mind. Okay, Donna D says hello. Mom says I made it. Yay. All right, welcome. Okay, moving up, we have your third eye. Now, your third eye chakra is right between your brow. Now, you might even see people who practice Hinduism often wear a bindi here at the third eye chakra. And the third eye chakra is the color of indigo. And this is the center of your intuition. Now, this corresponds with your pituitary gland. Your pituitary gland is actually lies between the two hemispheres of your brain. And so this is a place that corresponds with being able to trust your intuition and also your imagination. And the other thing that about the third eye is it's just goes along with the concept of being able to see things clearly for what they actually are and having insight over the situation. So it's not just using your physical eyes to understand, but to also use your third eye, which is like your inner eye, to really be able to see clearly what's really going on here. Okay. And moving on, the last chakra we're going to talk about today is your crown chakra. Now, the crown chakra corresponds to the top of your head. If you're going to do a headstand, that is exactly where your crown chakra is. It's the very top of your head, your crown. Now, this is the color frequency here. I've heard this as violet, ultraviolet, and also white. So you can kind of meditate into it and feel what feels real for you with this. And the crown chakra is all about your connection to spirit and also just your consciousness, your connection with your higher self, your unity consciousness. So your ability to transcend your physical body and tap into something bigger than you. So there's no specific spiritual connection, like religiously or anything like that, that's being called in here. It's really about just being able to access something larger than you from the crown chakra. That's really what it is. Accessing a sense of unity. Okay, this one corresponds with your pineal gland, which actually looks like a pine cone. Isn't that weird? And also your nervous system in your brain. Okay, so that essentially takes us through all of the major chakras. Now, let's talk a little bit about like, how do you actually use this information? Why is this helpful for you to know? It kind of just feels like memorizing a bunch of colors and a bunch of different petals. So, right? Okay. So this is how I use that information. For one, it can really help for you to understand if something is going on in your life that corresponds to one of these energies. So let's say all of a sudden your house burns down. This is a root chakra problem. Maybe you lose your job. That's a root chakra issue. Or you just don't feel safe. Maybe you feel like you're just walking in a neighborhood where you don't feel like you're safe, root chakra issue. So anytime that you recognize that you're having an issue that corresponds with a certain chakra, that it can do a couple of things. One, you might notice that you're vulnerable in that way. And so it might, over time, or maybe even instantly, lead to a physical problem manifesting in your body that has, and it would physically manifest corresponding in a body part corresponding. So if it was a root chakra issue, it could be something that happens in your lower back, your hips, your legs, your feet, your knees, right? Okay, maybe and then it can go the other way around. So let's say you're having a physical thing going on. Let's say you're having a problem with your thyroid and you're really just like struggling in dealing with this problem that's with your thyroid. This is a throat chakra issue. So you can address this issue with your thyroid in addition to doing all the physical things that you're going to do with your thyroid, but you're also could wear more blue. You could surround yourself in the color blue. You could also look energetically at your life, at the ways that maybe you're not fully speaking your truth. Maybe this is throat chakra, so that's your communication center. Maybe there's some way you're holding your tongue where it would actually be better for you to speak. Maybe there's a way you're not really fully telling the truth. And it might be something else, but this is an indication for you. If you have a physical problem, and it can be anywhere in your entire body, every single part of your body corresponds with one of your chakras. So if you have any physical problem, it's an invitation for you to look at that chakra and the energy of that chakra to see in what ways could you reconcile this energetically. Now, I know, again, you may be thinking like, woo woo, like what? I encourage you to have an open mind about this and just to notice and see if it shows up as being real for you before you pass judgment of whether or not this is a legitimate thing. Okay. Other things to say with this is a chakra can be out of balance. So a chakra can be too open and it can also be too closed. So if you have a throat chakra issue, if it was too open, that might look like you are a blabbermouth and that you are just talking when you should be silent and you're telling information that's out of integrity for you to share. And it can look like you are oversharing. It can look like you don't know when to shut your mouth. Could be throat chakra too open. And throat chakra too closed could look like, again, not speaking your truth. It could look like staying silent when you should be talking. It's look like not sharing something that it would be in everyone's best interest for you to share. So any chakra that you have could be too open and it could also be too closed. So if you find that you're having an issue in your body around that corresponds with a certain chakra, then the next question is this chakra too open or is this chakra too closed? Okay. Another way that you can attune to the chakras is one is the color. So you could definitely go with the color and maybe wear the color or surround yourself in the color. And you can also surround yourself in the sound. There is a sound that corresponds with each chakra. So for example, the third eye chakra, the sound that goes with it is Om. Now, if you've ever taken my yoga class, and honestly, on most yoga classes, at the end of class, you chant Om, Om. This is the mantra of the third eye chakra. And there's one that goes with each one. So that's only one of them. Another thing that you can do is to surround yourself with the sound frequency. So that's the mantra, but there's also a sound frequency. And I can show you this website that I like to use. There's a lot of these YouTube videos. It's not like this is the one or something, but I'll show you. I often will put this video on right here. And you can see this is just a YouTube video. And shout out to the people who made it. Their channel is called Meditative Mind. There, you can see there's a lot of other ones. But basically, this is a video. It's over an hour long, but it basically takes you through the frequencies of each chakra. So it starts at the root, and it goes to the sacral chakra, and it goes to the solar plexus chakra. And if you knew that you need to focus on one specific chakra, you could probably find a video that has the sound. And I did share sound so you can hear. It's just like a meditative tone that corresponds to the frequency of this chakra. So this is something that I would also use as a tool. Okay. Now, the biggest thing for you to get out of this is the connection between your body and your mind. That's really what I'm inviting you into here, is to, the chakras are a tool. You don't really have to believe in them. That's not the concept. The point here is this is a tool to help you to attune and connect your body to your emotions, to your mind. That's the reason that you're going to use the chakra tool, is so that you have this opportunity to create this bridge in between, and to have a language where you can understand what one, your physical body might be saying to your emotional body, and your emotional body might be saying to your physical body. And this is a way to use your mind to be able to connect the dots. Okay, so I invite you to really feel into your own body right now and notice if there's any physical part of your body that's asking for more attention. It might be a place you have an injury or an issue or some kind of physical imbalance right now. And if you want to put it in the chat, I'm happy to look it up for you, what body part that might be, that corresponds, what chakra that might correspond to. And from there, I invite you to look into which chakra corresponds to this part of your body. And then to really just get curious with this chakra. How can you incorporate that color a little bit more into your life? How can, maybe you want to play the sound frequency of the chakra, or learn the mantra. It's always one syllable. It's like Vam, Ram, Ham. They're all basically blank AM that go along with it. Kelly is saying elbow. All right, there you go. Okay, so I believe that the elbow corresponds with, heart chakra. Elbow, all arms and hands is heart chakra. So I really invite you. I can really feel, Kelly, I know that you are really good about getting out into the outdoors, but because the heart chakra corresponds with green, being in the outdoors, especially when, it's all green everywhere, is total medicine for your arms and your hands and that whole part of your body. So I would invite you to get outside, and I would invite you to also the bija mantra that goes along with it is Yam, Y-A-M, Yam. So that's my invitation for you, Kelly, and thank you for sharing what's up in the chat. Okay, Kelly says thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. So this is just a toe in the water with this. I could literally go on, and I don't even consider myself to be an expert in this at all. This is something I'm very curious about, that I have certainly been studying for a while, but I wouldn't say that I am like the ultimate expert in it or anything like that. Donna D says middle back. Okay, so middle back, I would invite you to just check in. Is it more like heart chakra level, where it's like middle back? It's probably gonna be solar plexus level, I would guess. So for me, my middle back is probably more around right here, right? It corresponds with your solar plexus. So if it's right around that pivot point of your back, like T12, solar plexus. So that's going to be the color yellow. So then I would invite you, if it is your middle back, and if it is solar plexus, maybe if it's a little higher, maybe it's heart. If it's a little lower, maybe it's sacral. But let's say if it's middle back, really tuning into the color yellow. And the bija mantra is Ram, R-A-M, Ram. And to really feel into your empowerment and your discipline and your willpower and your sense of confidence. Now, you're looking to see, is this too open or too closed? So is it, and that might also correspond with like, is your middle back too tight or is it too loose? But my question is like, is it that someone who has a solar plexus that is too open would be someone who like puffs out their chest a lot and they like think a lot of themselves and they're maybe kind of bossy and they are maybe not very humble. And someone who has an underdeveloped would be a little bit more collapsed. Their posture might be a little bit more rounded over. And if it was too closed, and it would be someone who could use a little bit more confidence. And it might not be confidence, it might be discipline. It might be this like structure kind of that you are setting in your life. And it might be willpower. So, Donna D, I hope that that's helpful. And yeah, and I would just get really curious with it and just see either way, whether it's too open or too closed. I would invite you to bathe yourself in the color yellow. So maybe wear the color yellow. For me, I wore the color yellow on purpose for this reason today. At least this is the closest thing to yellow I had. And I don't usually wear the color yellow at all. And so I was feeling like I needed a little bit more confidence today. And so I'm allowing that solar plexus, it's the sun energy. So getting out into the sun is medicine for the chakra as well. Dondi says, thanks. Nice. Yeah, my pleasure. Okay. So there is way, way deeper we can go with this. And I have an announcement that's related to this later. So stay tuned so that you learn what more we have to offer around this. But I am just really, really looking forward to sharing more about this type of information with you guys. Cool. Okay. So that brings us to our mid-show stretch break. Now, I intentionally chose a mid-show stretch break and a move of the week that correspond to one chakra so that you can kind of see how this works. So the chakra that I chose is the heart chakra. So we are going to do a mid-show stretch break and also a move of the week that correspond to the heart chakra. So again, this is the color green, and this is love. So if you're finding that your heart chakra might feel a little bit collapsed, it might feel like you're heartbroken, you might feel like you're not fully able to go there in love, and I'm not even necessarily talking about romantic love, then this one's for you. It might be that you're really judgmental of other people or that you're not really able to have compassion or empathy for other people. So this one would be for you. Okay, this pose, it's a yoga pose. It was in our 30 days of yoga challenge. And what it is camel pose. So camel pose is a heart opener. Now, any back bend you do is going to be a heart opener. Any back bend. This is one where you get on your knees. Now, I encourage you to practice this. And if you're sitting in a chair, this isn't available to you right now, do a version. Basically, do a seated version of cow pose. So arch your back and look up and back behind you. Yeah, so you can see in this video, this is Kathy, and Kathy is really practicing her heart being really, really open here. So if you're finding that your heart chakra is maybe a little bit constricted or not open enough, then camel pose can be good medicine for you. Now I have a different version of it here. So if you're looking at this and you're like, yeah, right, there's no way I'm going to do that, then this is a different version. So another version here is to put blocks, and it could be anything. It doesn't have to be a yoga block. You could use whatever. And put your, put the yoga block behind you. The other thing I will say with this that we don't really have showing in the video is you don't have to tilt your head back. You could keep your chin toward your chest and tilt back. And only go as far as it feels good. If it hurts your lower back, if it hurts anything, don't do it. Okay, and if you're practicing this right now, then come on up. And that was our mid-show stretch break. That was camel pose. Nice. Okay, now in the chat, oh, mom's in here. She's saying right shoulder and left leg. Okay, I'm glad you actually brought this up, the right and the left. Now, last week on the show, we talked about masculine and feminine energy. So we talked about your masculine side and your feminine side. Now, if we're going to use your body issues as an oracle, which is sort of what we're doing here, then I would say, let's say left leg, for example. Leg is root chakra. So leg, if you have an issue with a leg, then that's telling you that you have an issue with some kind of stability. It might be your home. It might be your money. It might be safety. It could even just be feeling like you're stable in your life. Like if you feel like your home life isn't very stable, then in any way, like maybe if you're in a chaotic environment, or if you are, maybe if you feel like you are not safe in your health and you're not really feeling like confident that you're going to be able to survive, that could also be a root chakra issue. And then if it's the left side is the feminine side. So that feminine side tends to have to do with your ability to receive. So if you have an issue with your left leg, it's a root chakra, and your ability to receive stability, receive financial, receive having enough food, receive feeling safe, feeling abundant, feeling stable. So that would be my read for that. And then if it's your right shoulder is a mix. I would say that shoulder is just like the arm is the heart. The shoulder is probably also the heart, but a lot of times when you have a shoulder issue, it might be coming up into your neck. So if it's your right side, this is your masculine side, and masculine is the energy of giving. It's the energy of putting energy out. So if you have an issue with your right shoulder, then I would say what I would look at would be somewhere between the heart and the throat, and your ability to communicate love. So your ability to express love, to give love. And that may be romantic love, but it may also be loving kindness towards yourself. It could be loving kindness toward people around you. It might be that you are not able to give love in a way that, like, and communicate it. You may not feel comfortable saying all of the loving things that you're feeling. And it might be that you have a certain amount of like judgment about people, or like you're not able to have compassion for people, something like that. So if I had a right shoulder thing, that's a kind of thing I would look at. And again, so with colors, I would say bathe yourself in green, maybe a little pink and red. So it's like Christmas colors. Okay. Keep them coming. If you guys want body reading oracle, I'm totally here for it. All right. So that said, we are going to move on to our move of the week. So our move of the week, I'm getting all of the tech pieces together. Let's do it. Move of the week this week. There we go. It is time for the move of the week. Now, we intentionally chose the move of the week and the stretch to both be heart chakra, just so you could kind of see how these things work together. So the move of the week this week for heart chakra, what do you think it is? It's probably the most common heart chakra move that you would ever do. Any guesses? Any guesses? All right, the move of the week this week is push-ups. Okay, so push-ups are a heart chakra exercise because it is building your heart level, heart chakra, right? Okay, so I have a lot of different versions of push-ups going on in here. And Kelly says chest opener, right? So The chest opener is kind of more like when you're trying to open your heart chakra, and the push-up is more of like if you're trying to develop some more strength into your heart chakra. So I have a lot of different versions in here. I have basically a full-on push-up on your toes. This is a push-up on an elevated surface. We also have push-up kind of like the next girl coming up after this is more of like an inchworm push-up. Now, if you're noticing that your heart chakra could use a little bit more stability, this one's for you. Now push-ups, the most important part of the push-ups is the plank. So for this girl trying to do the push-up, the biggest thing I want her to do is to basically keep her plank really strong. So this is why with the chakra system, we're starting at the base and building stability first into your root chakra and working our way up. So elevated surface, like what you see in this video, is a really great way for you to build up your strength of your core as you work your way up into the push-up on the ground. Now, we have a few different versions of push-ups in our exercise library. So one is this push-up with Mary Beth on a bench. So I'm going to show this push-up on the bench with Mary Beth right here. Now, Mary Beth is doing a pretty good job of keeping her core stable. And you can see a little bit of where her lower back at the very bottom gets a little saggy. So if that's you, if you notice that, first thing I'd say is step your feet wider. Second thing I'd say is squeeze your glutes. And then if neither of those things fixes the problem, then I would say you need a higher bench, higher elevated surface. Okay. So what I'm really looking for you to grok out of this is that this is how, if your heart chakra is like, wide open, it needs more structure, push-ups. If your heart chakra is too closed and you need to open it, camel pose. Now, the interesting part with this is that the camel pose is a stretch that would stretch the muscles that you're going to build during the push-up. So not only do these things energetically correspond, but they actually physically correspond with one another. So this is how to stretch your chest muscles. And this is how to build your chest muscles. And your chest muscles have to do with your heart chakra. So if you're having a problem with your elbows, your shoulders, your chest, cardio, then this one's for you. Okay, so that's our move of the week. Cool. Thanks for going through that with me. All right, moving on. It is time for announcements. You guys ready? Now, I'm going to give the announcement first of the thing that I always forget. So I just want to basically make sure I remember to say the thing, and that is Goals Walk is Monday. So for those of you in the Next Fitness Thing community, you know what this is. The first Monday of every month, we have a Goals Walk, and the Goals Walk is your chance to set goals for the month of September. So every month, first Monday of the month, we do this. And we've been setting goals every month on the first Monday of the month. So this is also your chance to check in with your goals from the last month that you set and see how they went and make any adjustments that you want or set new goals now. So Goals Walk is Monday. Now, Monday is a holiday and we're totally still having this. So our schedule is basically normal on Monday. Check it out. You can come. Now, for those of you who may not be part of the Next Fitness Thing community, this class is completely free. So if you would like to come to the Goals Walk, you absolutely can. It is completely free. We won't ask for your credit card or anything. And you can go to thenextfitnessthing.com/goalswalk. I'll put it in the description of this video, so it's easy for you to find. And you can come to the Goals Walk. It's on Monday. It's many times throughout the day. I believe it's at 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 2 or 2:30 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. So we have 4 of them throughout the day for you to take advantage of. Okay. Now, moving on. Our next announcement, this one is an exciting one, is we have a new walking challenge coming up. Now, this starts on September 8th. So it's not this coming Monday, but it's the Monday after. And this is the Walk Your Chakras challenge. So this is part of why I wanted to do the chakras today and talk about the energy centers in your body, is so that you would even understand the concept of what this is. Now, in this challenge, it's a 2-week challenge. It's Monday through Thursday. It's 2 times throughout the day. So it's going to be the live classes are at 8 a.m. and 5:30 p.m., but they'll also be replays. There will still be 6 a.m. walking classes. They're just not going to be part of the challenge. So that way we have some walking classes. If you don't want to join this challenge, you can still come to 6 a.m. walking class, also 2 or 2:30. Okay. Anyway, so each class is going to be one chakra. So there are 8 days in this challenge, and there are 7 of these chakras. So the first one's like an introduction to the whole concept of chakras, which is kind of a little bit what we did today. And then after that, every single class is one of the chakras. So we can do like a deep dive on each one. So I'm super excited about that. I do encourage you to wear the color on the day. So if you join this challenge on the first day, wear like rainbows or multicolor. On the next day, we're going to do root chakra, which is red. So wear red. On the next day, wear orange. On the next day, wear yellow. You don't have to, but just for the concept of really attuning to the chakra on that day, take advantage of it and wear the color in some way. I would encourage you to. Okay, so if you want to sign up for this, it's thenextfitnessthing.com/walkyourchakras. It's up right now. You can sign up right now. Members get a discount, but anybody can join. You don't have to be an Next Fitness Thing member. You can join without a membership, but you do get a discount if you do join, if you do have a membership. And PS, some of our memberships are cheaper than the discount, so it's definitely worth it to get the membership. But anyway, and then there's one other surprise that goes along with this challenge, which is Mary Beth is coming back for this challenge. Yay! So if you are missing Mary Beth, like I am, and we all are, then sign up for this challenge, and she's going to be teaching the 5:30 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays. So you'll get 4 classes with Mary Beth as part of this challenge. Yay! We're so excited about that, MB. Yay! Okay, Aaron says, ooh, sounds so exciting and awesome. Yay, I'm glad. And I'm just so excited that Mary Beth wanted to come back and do this challenge with us. Yay. Thank you, Mary Beth. So that is great. And again, you can sign up for this right now. It is thenextfitnessthing.com/walkyourchakras. Aaron says, yes. Cool. Okay, and other announcements. Our community event for the month of August is this weekend, like day after tomorrow. So it is the Dog Days Sniffari. This is meant to be a class to take with your dog. So if you have a dog, take your dog for a walk in this class. It's a class really for your dog. So they get to go on a safari. They get to go walk around. I know that for those of you who walk your dog in part of our classes, you're probably always dragging them along, being like, come on, don't sniff that. Let's go. And so this class is your chance to let your dog really be the boss and to have the safari they deserve. And this class will be led by team leader Melissa. So this is the first class Melissa has taught in a while. I believe it's her first live class ever. And Melissa is also recovering from major surgery right now. So this is her first like comeback right now. So come support Melissa in her first class, also in this community event. And also Melissa is so passionate about rescuing dogs. I think she has 4 rescue dogs or whenever she takes our class, she's got dogs like everywhere. So this is a cause that's super close to her heart. So come enjoy Melissa. It's the 7 a.m. on Pacific on Sunday. All right. You can sign up for that right now. nextfitnessthing.com/dogdays. This is also free, completely free. So if you're watching this right now and you're not in our community, you can go to this. No credit card or anything like that. Just sign up for it and join. Even if you don't have a dog, you can still come. And if you don't have a dog, if you want to dress as a dog, you could be the dog. That'd be kind of fun. All right, here we go. Going on. Now, our Thrive in 30 challenge is getting toward the end. Now, this is really could be an evergreen challenge. We do have specific classes on specific days right now, but just saying, if you would like to have a 30-day program to encourage you to take a variety of classes with strength classes included, this challenge is free. So it's thenextfitnessthing.com/thrive in 30, and you can still sign up for this. And you may not be taking the classes on like the same day that a lot of other people are taking it, but it doesn't matter. All those classes are on replay. Those classes are in our schedule all the time. So you can sign up for Thrive in 30 anytime if you haven't already. That said, those of you who are in the Thrive in 30 challenge, you have until September 7th to send in your scorecard. So you have, I think that if you started on day one as day one, that your 30th day would be on Tuesday of this coming week, like the day after Labor Day. And we're giving you until the following Sunday to send in your scorecard. So you have almost a week if you need to make up any classes, if you need to, whatever. So just know that you can do that. And it's thenextfitnessthing.com/thrive in 30. The place to send in your scorecard is still on this page too. So if you already signed up, it'll show up at the top for you, and you can send in your scorecard. Cool. Okay. P.S. Keep tagging us on social. It's really fun. Okay, going on. Okay. This is a great announcement. We have some changes coming up in our schedule. Now, it's nothing major, but it's kind of exciting stuff. So one is that the class after the 6 a.m., so especially there was a certain amount of like during the Thrive in 30 challenge, there were a certain amount of classes that we kind of had to force into the schedule in order to work with the challenge. So we're going to start settling into what a normal schedule will look like after this challenge ends, which is basically Wednesday. So for one, at 6:30 a.m., so at 6 a.m., there's a walking class. At 6:30, there's a 10-minute class every day now, Monday through Thursday. I put a variety throughout the week. So one day it's 10-minute stretch, 1 minute's 10-minute bar, 1 minute's 10-minute strength, etc. So for those of you taking that walking class, that's for you. Now, I would love to hear feedback both from the 6 a.m. and the 8 a.m. people. Would you rather have the strength class first? Because I know sometimes if the strength class is after the walk, you might not make it home to do the strength class. So if you would rather have the strength class first and the walk second, tell me that. You can put it on this video. You can send me a DM. I want to know. Okay, we're not going to change that until after this coming walking challenge, just because I don't want to mess that up. But I'm very curious to hear that feedback. Thank you. That was suggested to me. So I want to kind of hear if that's real. All right. The other thing is, so after the 6 a.m., there's one 10-minute class. After the 8 a.m., there are two 10-minute classes. So there's a class at 8:30 and there's a class at 8:45. So I'm doing this kind of as an experiment, but I have a feeling that in the middle of the day, those shorter classes might be better to make it so that you only are committing to show up for 10 minutes. And there's two of them. So it's basically like if you had a 25-minute class, because those classes don't have a warm up. So if you did the walk and you do the two 10-minute classes, you'll be golden. I also, in those two 10-minute classes, put a variety throughout the week so that you have a good program if you do it all 4 days. One day is stretching classes, one day strength classes, one day is bar Pilates, etc. Okay, now we are adding a couple of other things to, these are Pacific. Yes, everything on this screen is Pacific. So if you're not sure, I know Donna D's asking this, you're Eastern, add 3 hours to everything. So these are the same times that things have been in the past month. These aren't really new times, except what I'm about to tell you, which is we're adding a 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday and Thursday. Now, this is seated classes are going to be 4:30 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday. Tuesday will be the strength and Thursday will be seated yoga. Up until now, seated yoga has been at 6 p.m. on Thursday, so we're trying it earlier to see if that helps. Mom says chakra-ing. Chakra-ing, yeah. Okay. Also on Thursdays at 5, we're putting vinyasa yoga. So this class was there like before we did all the schedule change. I'm just putting it back. So we're gonna have yoga on Thursdays, and I hope you guys will come. You can take walking right afterward. So it's like what if you wanted to, you can do a full hour of yoga where we'll do 4:30 seated yoga and then 5 o'clock vinyasa yoga. So You could stretch out like head, neck, and shoulders during the seated. That will also include a meditation and breath work. And then get on your mat and stretch your whole body out during vinyasa. So it'll start easier and then get more challenging through those 2 classes. Okay. I have a few more attunements to the schedule in mind, but I don't want to change everything all at once. If you have feedback on the schedule, please send me a message. I would love to hear. All right, that's enough of that. I talked about that probably for too long. Going on. If you're not in the Discord, get in the Discord. I'll put the link to it on this video. Also, renewal is coming. I promise it's coming. It's taking me forever to get it out of the door, but it's coming. Okay. Book club. Here's the deal with book club. Book club is at the end of September. So you have this opportunity. This is a walking book club for those of you who don't know. The book this month is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekuluk. I think I said that somewhat correctly, not sure. Anna is leading the book club this month. It's at 1 p.m. on Sunday, the 28th of September. So start reading now, get the book, get there. Mom saying, who wants to color their hair to match the chakra? It's going to take a lot of hair dye. It's if you have a different color every single day. Better get wigs. That's all I can say. Better get wigs. All right, book club. This is going to be, this is a book chosen by Anna. I encourage you to check it out. I'm going to check it out. I haven't started yet, but get the book. Oh, Freebie Friday. All right, the time has come for Freebie Friday. I changed Freebie Friday to be something like every other week, just because we didn't really have enough people commenting on the YouTube videos to justify doing it every single week. It was like, so if you want Freebie Friday to come back every single week, start commenting on the YouTube videos, and then we could bring it back to every week. Otherwise, we're spacing it out until we have at least like 6 people who comment on it. So, okay, give me 1 second. There it is. I got it. All right, here's the Freebie Friday. All right, ready? Drum roll. Ta-da! The Freebie Friday winner is Nancy. Congratulations, Nancy. We will be reaching out so that you can get an awesome prize. That's awesome. All right. I'm so glad to hear it, Nancy. Nancy is awesome because Nancy has been going on to and watching the show. She doesn't watch it when it's live usually, unless you're here. Hi, Nancy, if you did. But usually Nancy watches the show later. So Nancy puts a bunch of comments. She watches the show and puts her comments in the actual comments instead of putting it in the live chat. And so I'm really happy for you to be the winner, Nancy. And thank you for all the comments that you put on all our videos. And I appreciate your support so much. Okay. Now we have one more topic, one more thing for this show. And this is something that I love. I personally absolutely love this. And so I want to be able to share it with you. And it totally ties in with our chakra topic of the day. And that is a color bath. So this is something that you can do to help you to attune to whatever chakra that you might be looking to attune to. Now, what is a color bath? A color bath means that you're bathing in the color. There's a few ways to do this. Now, one way is to do it in the bathtub. So bathing in the color in the bathtub might look like you take those little kid, or there's bath bombs too. You could get a bath bomb that is going to turn your bath water. Let's say you're working on root chakra. You have a bath bomb that's going to turn the bath water red. Or I personally find that a little unnerving because it looks like blood and then So the rose petals or something red that you can float in the bathtub is also a way of taking a color bath. And then the other thing to do with this is you can take a color bath without water. It doesn't have to be in water. So you could take a color bath by turning on the lights in that are all like, maybe you have a way of having red colored lights in your house for the root chakra red. It might also be that you have red fabric that you could drape, and you have red candles, and you have red, you can just take the decor of a certain room or a certain area and just bathe yourself completely in the color that goes with that chakra. Now, the easy way to do this is the heart chakra green, to go in the forest that I was talking about with Kelly. You go out in the forest and you're bathed in green. You are bathed in green, right? But put yourself, if there's a certain chakra that you're looking to attune to, bathe yourself in the color of that chakra. And then even to put on this one of those audios of the sound of the chakra too, and just let yourself soak it in. That's what a color bath is. So I'm super into the bathtub. So this is something that's a regular practice for me. I do the red for sure. The chakras I'm working with a lot. Honestly, depends on the day. But right now I'm working on red, I'm working on green, and I have been working on indigo too. So yeah. Anyway, so I would encourage you to try it. Try taking a color bath. Has anybody actually tried this? I'd love to know. If you have tried the color bath, go into the chat and share. We want to know, how did you do it? Okay. And without further ado, all right. Daniela says you got the book from the library. Awesome. Erin says it's a good book. Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that. Nice. And Donna D says will do. What are we talking about? We're talking about getting the book. Okay. Get the book. All right. Guess what? That brings us to the end of the show. Team, it was so much fun to be here with you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this time with me. And thank you for all of the ways that you participated, for all of offering the parts of your body that you're working with and all the things. Now, this weekend, I hope to see you. Tomorrow morning, I'm teaching 3 classes tomorrow morning. On Sunday, we have, not only do we have the community event, but we also have Strength 40 for the Thrive in 30 challenge after that. So hope to see you there too. And then on Monday, we have Goals Walk. So come on back and I'll see you then. All right. Erin says, great show. Yay. Great show for you too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Labor Day. See you soon.